There's a lot of hours in the day, man. So ever since I got this iPhone 12, probably 3 months ago now, uh, it's a different type of phone. I get these messages that I never used to get on my iPhone 7 before this. So I would get, like, on the homepage, I would get these messages that would say your average weekly usage for the phone is so many hours. And the first time I got this message, I was like, Jesus Christ. Uh, so initially, when I first got the phone, in the first week, it said to me that I'm averaging 5 hours of phone use. I thought to myself, 5 freaking hours. Geez, that's a long freaking time to use a phone. And now it's gone up to like 6, 7 sometimes. I'm like, man, this is too much, man. What's going on? And then I started thinking about it, and I went into the app, which calculates all of this. And, I spend something like, I don't know, 45 to an hour recording. I spend about an hour, hour and a half on the editing some days. I spend a lot of time, like sometimes 3 hours on my comments on the YouTube app. So that takes a lot of time. And then I also watch more YouTube than I watch TV, right? I watch all the NBA highlights. I watched all the football highlights. I watch all the shows that I like to watch on there. And so, 7 hours, man. 7 freaking hours. And then I sit back and I think to myself, yeah, like, I spend a lot of time editing these videos, making these videos. So it's kind of like I'm working on the phone. It's not just pure entertainment. This morning I woke up at 4:30, got into the gym, started training. Basically, the whole session was, I did 7 sets of 5 at 100 kilos front squat. That was the session. I just kind of worked through that. The session took about 45 to an hour, something like that. So I got through that, and I'm thinking about, how much time there is in life. So, I'm thinking about the whole app thing. Okay, so we have 8 hours of sleep. Let's just say 8 hours on average. I know some people get more, some people get less, but that's kind of the average, right? 8 hours. Most of us spend 8 hours working or studying, something like that. And then there's like another 8 hours left, okay? So for me, let's just say I spend 7 freaking hours, 6 hours on the phone on average per week, right? It's a lot of freaking time, man. But then I think about it, like, most meals that I have, when I'm not with the family, I've got the phone. If I'm by myself and I'm watching whatever I'm watching, like I said, NBA highlights, football highlights, or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, so I went to work, a few weeks ago, and I was talking about this thing. I'm like, oh, do you guys have this? Like, I'm starting to compare with other people. Like, is this like a stupid number? Like, what do people usually get? And then people that don't have editing on their phone and whatever, like, I'm running this YouTube channel, editing and making the videos and replying to you guys and all of that. Some of the guys are there, yeah, I get 8, 9 hours, 8 hours, 7 hours. And I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, this is a lot of time, man. Like, so I said, like, I spoke to this one person, so, like, what do you do with your time? She's like, well, I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't know. She's like, I don't know. I go on Instagram, I go on TikTok and whatever and blah, 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 blah. And TikTok is a funny one, man. Like, I remember when TikTok first took off, I downloaded the app and I was like flicking through it. And the first time I downloaded this app, man, like an hour and a half just erased out of my existence. Hour and a half gone. And I was just kind of like flicking through. There's no ads. There's nothing to stop you from indulging in this freaking endorphin release. You're just seeing things. It asks you, what do you like? I like sport. I like this, I like that. I like funny videos. Bang, 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 bang. It just keeps knocking you one. It's just, good feeling after good feeling after good feeling. It's so interesting. And it's just the one thing that YouTube always kind of like made you stop and think about reality is, when the ads would come on, like, oh, I've got 15 seconds, and you kind of look up, look around, like, oh, what time is it, blah, blah, blah. This guy, no, he's just straight up IV infusion, straight to the freaking carotid, bang, it's just straight for your skull. And then we think about there's not enough time. Okay, one of the most popular things that I hear is I don't have enough time to train, or I don't have enough time to do this. Man, there is a lot of time in life, man. Okay, delete the 16 hours that we spoke about, work and sleep. There's 8 hours a day. Now I get it. You gotta eat, you gotta shower, you gotta do all these things. And those 8 hours probably, come down to 4 hours or something, let's say. 4 hours is a long time, man. It's a long time. Especially when we're talking about training your body for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. You can go in and do like these EMOMs, every minute on the minute type deals where you set the clock, and every time it hits 12 on the clock, bang, you're smashing something. Do a set the last 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Wait the other 45, bang. Wait the other 45, bang. So this idea that we don't have enough time, yet we are spending so much time in damn leisure and entertainment. I don't understand why the human condition is the way it is right now, man. Like, I don't think we've ever had entertainment as taken up as large of a part of our lives ever. Think about it, man. We are entertained. Like for me and my colleague, we're entertained. I mean, I'm working a little bit through those hours, but we're entertained at least 5 hours a day. Are we really that precious that we need entertainment 5 hours a day? And back in the day, man, people used to get entertainment for an hour, if that. It used to be all work and sleep, man. Now we just get entertained so much, and depression and anxiety is on the increase. Everyone's depressed. Everyone's juicing up 12 hours of freaking TV shows a day. Yet we're all freaking depressed. We're all sad. It's because we are just overdosing on those endorphins, man. You have to just cut back a little bit. Go for like a week without the phone. I know it's difficult nowadays because everyone's kind of tapped in and you can't communicate with anyone, blah, 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 blah. I get it. But I reckon, like, if I was to go on a holiday, right? I mean, this is my idea. I know it probably wouldn't happen with family and kids or whatever. But if I went on a holiday, I would want to go on a holiday like in a freaking mountain somewhere where nobody can contact me. And just like 7 freaking days of no Wi-Fi, no internet, no nothing, just freaking exist. I think people in the 21st century now, 2020, like 2022 now, I'm saying 2020. I think we've just forgotten how to be alone and how to be silent and how to just not have anything to look at or listen to. Just sit there. This is where some of you guys have talked to me about meditation. Just being in a freaking quiet room and doing nothing. How silly is that? We need to practice doing nothing. Just let's talk to ourselves, man. Like I sometimes catch myself and I'm like, every single time I sit down on the toilet or sit down to eat, there's always something feeding me, man. I'm either watching NBA highlights or the soccer or these shows or some funny stuff happening, watching the NBA. If I'm not doing that, I'm talking to you guys in the comments. I'm editing. I'm doing all these things. I'm texting to other people. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't have a moment where I just sit, I don't do nothing. In fact, when I sit down with the kids and we have like some free time or whatever, I generally put some music on and we might mess around. So there's music in the background. I don't know if this is just me thinking about it this way or whether you guys feel the same way, but there's never any silence, man. There's never any just a lull. Just stop. It's always something happening. Sometimes, me and my mates always talk about this, man. Like, sometimes we have these, like, ideas of just freaking packing up and going in the middle of nowhere, buying a house in the middle of a hill, the nearest freaking town is like 100 kilometers away, and just existing. I want to know what it's like to exist where there's nothing, just nothing. You and another person, there's nothing else. It's just old-fashioned human being living. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to me that, we don't have time. We don't have time. But the powerful thing about that counter, about that app, is that it gave me a number. It gave me a number. And when you click on the thing, you can actually run through and see what app you spend what time. So like, YouTube app or whatever, home screen, like all this stuff is like calculated. The timers keep ticking on. So no wonder these advertisers, Facebook and all this stuff like that's on our phone, it basically collects data every single second you're on. I don't know if you guys have seen that documentary, man, it was on Netflix a while back, called Social Dilemma, I think it was. Man, that was an eye-opening app, man. Eye-opening a TV documentary. It was incredible. I never knew that as you go scrolling down something, Instagram or TikTok or whatever, there's actually a timer. So when you stop, so you might not click on a video, right? Like you're on YouTube, you're flicking through, you stop, you have a look, and it starts to play a little bit of like kind of a preview. Well, inside the app, it's actually calculating how long you've stopped on that screen, and it's collecting data. Okay, it's collecting data of how much you're spending time on that thing. And over years of months, days, years, it collects data of what you like. So your phone actually knows more about you than you know about yourself. And so then, Facebook and Google and all these places, they know what exactly to serve you on that homepage. Oh, we know Ivan never freaking, skips over the NBA highlight. Especially when it's like 25 seconds, somebody dunking on somebody. So we feed that to him, he's gonna watch it. And we can play an ad ahead of that because this guy really loves NBA basketball, really loves LeBron and Kobe and Jordan. So if we throw in a Jordan documentary in front of his face, he's probably gonna be like, oh, that's cool, have I seen that? And this is how we get stuck on these apps for hours upon hours. And then you look at the clock, oh, it's 10 o'clock, and now I gotta go back to bed. And then reset. And another day you haven't done anything productive. Another day you haven't done anything for your body. It's just entertainment. And I think that is a big detriment to us because the years are going by, the time is going by, man. One of the biggest things that I get wowed by is this time acceleration. We've spoken about this in the past. A lot of you guys have said to me, and it makes a lot of sense, the older that you get, the smaller per second it seems your life is. Because when you're 1 year old, 1 second is a bigger proportion of your life at that point than it is when you're 100 years old. You've had a lot of those one seconds. So now, I feel like a day just freaking flashes by me, man. Flashes by me. And one of the most powerful things I have is that training logbook that I have. It's like Devon 779, day 780, 781 the next day. It's just the days keep going by and I'm like flicking through these pages of my life and I'm like, I did this, I did that. And so this training is becoming like a project of time stamping. It's incredible. It's incredible how quickly time flies, man. I cannot believe I'm on day 780 almost, man. The hell is going on? Where's this time going? But I'm proud I have that thing. I'm writing that stuff down. Even the time that it takes to write the damn numbers, day so. I feel like I'm doing something positive. I'm not just flicking through an app all the time. I could care, I'm on the damn thing 7 hours a day. But at least there's 1 hour or 2 hours a day where I'm actually doing something that's actually making me feel good. I think it's important to just be mindful of where you spend the most important currency that you have, time. Where do you spend it? I think it's a really cool app and I'm actually quite happy that these phones have it nowadays. I mean, probably the iPhone 7 had it as well, but this is probably a standard thing that popped up and caught my attention. I was like, wow, that's going to make me feel accountable for where I spend this currency, which is so valuable to all of us. Guys, some more supporters. Yet again, this recording is really difficult for me to actually see the names. So under Jesse Luna, there's a name that I cannot see. I'm sorry, I can't read it. I really should be writing this down, but once again, I'm rushing to get to work. So this is all kind of very quick editing, very quick preparation. So under Jesse Luna, there's a name. You can all read it on the screen, I'm sure. So we can mention that name. Under that, it's a big buffer. Thank you. These are all the new guys that have come on the Patreon. After that, Edis Babachmetovic, thank you, man. Živio. Alexios Adamantios Karakatsanis. Wow, which that's. Alexios Adamantios Karakatsanis. Oh man, I'm sorry, dude. Then we got Big Miox, I think. Julio Santana, Andre Grigorian, Craig Sapestein. Man, I butchered these names. I'm sorry, guys, but I just want to spend a second or two mentioning you guys' names. I just want to thank you for that. I appreciate it. Once again, this morning I woke up, I worked all day yesterday, prepared the video yesterday morning. This morning I woke up and I see all the, Patreon list and I'm like, oh my God, man. The support. Man. Just a blessing. It's a blessing that we're all on the same page. It's a blessing that we all feel so strongly about what's happening on this channel, in this community. Just the support just makes me put more time into it. So those 7 hours that I've put in, I feel like I want to do more. It's so wholesome. It's not just entertainment. This isn't just entertainment for me. That was kind of the realization that I had. This is much more than just entertainment. This is a community. This is learning. This is education. This is inspiration. This is motivation. This is health. This is fitness. And, you know, and the more time I spend on this YouTube app and communicate with you guys, the less time I spend it on freaking TikTok and the rest of the other crap, which is just brain numbing stuff. I'm sure there's good stuff on there, and I have seen good stuff on there, but a lot of this stuff is just pure sex. You know, girls just get boob implants, you know, 50 sizes too big, put on a bikini, and then just start dancing around in front of the camera. And, you know, us fellas sit there and we look at that, we're like, well, look at that. And then 5 hours go by, we're like, what the hell have I just done? Nothing. So that's the stuff that annoys me. There's no contribution to my life in any way. It's just time wasting. But this stuff here, all these names on the screen, the comments in the comment section, I'm sure a lot of you guys that are on the screen spend a lot of time in the comment section as well. This is just pure value. So I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining the list. I'm going to continue doing this. It feels extremely good to me to thank everybody daily, because without you guys, I don't know, this community and this YouTube thing wouldn't exist. Without your interaction, without your input, this is nothing. I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.